Hey everyone, this is Mathmetrics. It's November 23rd, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know that tomorrow on the 24th, the new synthesizer called Vital is dropping. And this is an amazing synth. You're really going to want it. I've been in the beta community for a while. We're all super excited about this. There have been a few good preview videos, day one videos so far that talk about some very exciting sound design possibilities with Vital and how Vital works in general. I'm not going to rehash any of that. I'm not a pro sound designer. What I'm going to talk about is something very mundane, and that is the behavior of the browser for wavetables or presets or LFO shapes or noise samples. Here, if we turn on the noise sampler, right, you've got a way to browse through noise samples. I'm going to talk about the behavior of this browser because there's a couple things about it that aren't intuitive or obvious at first. And there's also some really cool tricks you can use to make your own custom organization and make it real easy to find stuff. So before I jump into stuff about the browser, let me just point out there have been two really good videos that I think if you're not aware of Vital and you don't know why you want this synth, because trust me, you want it, these two videos will help you understand why you want it. So definitely go look for this video by Dash Glitch. Came out a few days ago talking about his favorite top 10 features. And another video that's really good just came out this morning, in fact, by a great sound designer from the beta community named Data Broth. And in 15 minutes, they're going to show you some amazing sound design tricks you can pull off with Vital. This will blow your mind. So go check out these two videos if you haven't yet decided about Vital or if you've never heard of Vital. All right, now I'm going to get into the stuff about browsers. Here's my dilemma. If you're a producer for a long time, you start collecting a lot of stuff. Some of us anyway. And so, for example, in Serum, I've got so many hundreds of presets now, and a big problem I have with Serum and this general style of browsers, I can never find anything in here. I have like, I don't know, 8,000 Serum presets by now. How do you find anything in this type of browser, right? Even when you're trying to use tags or trying to search for keywords, you can't find what you want in here, ever. So this kind of browser gets useless for a person like me after you have more than a couple hundred presets. So I much prefer to create my own custom preset structures. And as you can see, I like to organize mostly by genre. And then within a given genre, I can find certain sound packs that I know by name. I know that they have what I'm looking for. And then I can just come in and go straight to a certain preset and off we go, right? And then from there, if I start browsing, I'm just browsing next presets or previous presets in that same folder where I started, okay? So here I am on this one. I can go backward this way or forward this way just by clicking these buttons. So that's always been a really cool thing about Serum that I appreciate, but it requires you to understand Serum's folder structure. And let's go find Xfer. And when you're organizing your things, you have to pretty much do everything inside of the presets folder and manually set things up, and you're constrained and have to cut a lot of like purchased packs you buy. You have to cut them apart and carefully put the presets in the right place and carefully put the wavetables in a completely different place, and carefully put the noise samples in yet another place. And if you've got LFO shapes, you have to put them in a different place. And it just, it's a lot of manual surgical cutting and pasting. And those of us who prefer this, do this. It's worth the hassle, but it's a hassle, right? Now, what we're going to get into now is how Vital does this. And Vital is a lot friendlier, but gives you a lot of that same flexibility, only it's not going to be real obvious at first how to do this. So the main thing I want to show you about Vital is this is that Serum-like structure. And you can, again, you can pick certain metadata tags to get down to certain types of presets. You can search for keywords. It's just like Serum, except let's see if we can find one that's got some There we go. You can also add descriptions here, which is nice. But this is the hidden gem. This is how you really do it if you prefer a more custom organization and you have lots and lots of presets. So, for example, me being in the beta community for a long time, we've all shared and submitted a lot of presets with each other. And in the beta community, I've got subfolders based on, sound designers that have been very prolific with their shares. And so I can find all of Afro's presets in one spot, or all of Data Broth's presets in one spot, or all of Kurumi's presets in one spot, and so on. And it's not real obvious when you first open up the browser. You just get this big list, and you probably at first you'll only see factory and user as folders. And it's not obvious that you can click this folder and then click it one more time to get into the subfolders. And you can go as far down as you want with subfolders inside of subfolders and so on and so forth. And then, so for example, if we click the factory folder, I've got these tags on, so let's turn those off. If I click the factory folder, again, this is a beta. This is the beta of, this is not the final Vital. So there aren't that many factory presets in here by default. I don't know if there will be more at launch. I know that in various other ways, there will be lots of presets available to you at launch, but whether this list will be big or not is inconsequential. Just remember, this is beta. What I'm trying to show you is the behavior of the browser itself. And so within this small set of beta factory presets that I have right now, they're organized into subfolders. And so I can filter down to just the bass presets, or just the effects presets, or just the key preset, or just the lead preset, right? And it's not obvious from the behavior of the browser itself that there might be subfolders hiding under any one of these things. That's the main thing I want to show you first. And the same is true for like LFOs. Like, again, factory LFOs, if I open it up, we just see a big list of everything that's inside that factory folder. But if I click it one more time, you can see I've got some basic LFOs and some pattern LFOs. Similar thing here. This is a third-party pack from Databroth that goes with this video. This video shows you some really specific cool tricks and techniques, and he sells, he gives away for free a corresponding pack over on his Gumroad. And in that pack, for the LFOs, for example, there's two types of LFOs. There's a special set of LFOs that give you harmonic series for one of his tips and tricks. This is great to just have these pre-made for you. And then there's another set of LFOs that have to do with beat shuffling and playback remapping using another very advanced trick of his. And so you won't even know that these subfolders are here unless you know this trick to click inside one more time. All right? So that's one thing to know that won't be obvious at first. The other thing to know is that unlike Serum, Vital is very forgiving about how those folders have to be created. This is the cool thing that isn't real obvious at first. You'll notice here in my top level user documents Vital folder, right? I've got the same kind of folders you see. Let's see, let's do it this way. Let's get the preset browser open again. All right, so here at the top level of my Vital folder, you see the same four groups: beta community, Databroth tips and tricks, factory, and user, right? And it doesn't care. This is what's cool. You don't need a top level organization of like, okay, all my presets in one place, all my tables in one place, all of my LFOs in one place. You can mishmash them any way you want in a way that makes sense to you and the way you want to find things. So for example, I wanted to separate out all of the stuff that had to do with Databroth's tips and tricks. I wanted to separate them out into their own top level folder. So if we look inside this folder, we can see that it has an LFOs and a presets subfolder. All Vital presets have a .vital extension, and all Vital LFOs have a Vital LFO extension. Okay. Tables have an extension called, let's just go to factory for that. Wavetables have an extension called Vital Table, and samples or noise files, they all have an extension of Wave. Maybe they'll also recognize other audio PCM types, I'm not sure. But the point is, for the browser itself inside of Vital, it just automatically knows if I'm in the preset browser, the only thing I'm going to show you are anything that ends with .vital. And I'll filter out automatically everything else. So it doesn't care that the presets are organized into a single folder called presets. You can have any kind of organization you want. And inside any folder, you can have any kind of organization you want. Like for the beta community folders I did, it starts with beta community, and then it's actually organized into all the LFOs I collected from the beta community, all the presets organized by different people who were big contributors, and then one folder called miscellaneous for everything else. All my samples broken out by different names and types, right? All my wave tables broken out by different names and types. And it's just beta community, these things, and then they go into the different, perhaps, subfolders from there. But if we go over to the presets browser here, and we're in the preset browser, let's go back to that one more time, right? Just click up here, go to beta community, and I click this folder to open it, right? It's only showing me presets, just presets. And if there might be subfolders inside any one of these, I would have to click one more time to test that, like I'm clicking a couple times on this one. So because nothing new is opening, I know that there's no more subfolders under here, right? These are all the presets, and that's the folder structure. But for example, if I go back to browse the LFO shapes, and I go into beta community and expand it. Oh, LFO shapes isn't a good example. Let's use noise. There's a lot of noise samples. So if I go into beta community here, right, here's those top level folders I had, and depending, there might be some subfolders hiding under some of these, maybe. No, but under factory, field recordings and noise, right? So the point is you can explore and set up and create folder structures that will let you filter. Like within the beta community, I decided for myself that I wanted to have the noise samples organized in a way that was like, what type of noise is it? Is it a glitch noise? Is it just general, different types of white noise or stereo noise or mono noise? Is it really simple, like basic noise types like brown, white, pink, etc.? Is it some sort of tonal one-shot? Is it some sort of transient noise to add like little transient attack to things? And so on and so forth. So see, you can come up with any sort of folder name and folder structure you want, and Vital will just show that to you, and it'll automatically filter out everything that isn't a noise sample from the noise browser. So you can be mixing and matching in any one of these top level folders, noises and vital tables and presets and whatever you want. So hopefully this has been a useful tip. Play with your structure. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to get in here in the Vital folder and just completely, constantly re-swizzle and rearrange things to suit your tastes and give you a kind of organizational structure and labels for folders and subfolders that make sense to you. Feel free to do that because Vital's really cool and it lets you do that. I don't think any other synth lets me be this flexible with my own structure. So hopefully this has been a useful tip, and I've shown you another cool, if mundane, feature about Vital, and I'll see you next time.